let's get you another heart-wrenching story that we have been getting for you of another target of Islamist hate. This man, this time around, it is Riyaz. You can see on your screens how Jammu and Kashmir special police officer, he was killed after a terror attack that had happened in Pulwama. He was first injured after he was shot by the militants, and fortunately he later had succumbed to the injuries. This is the final journey of Riyaz Ahmed Thoker, who was shot dead by the terrorists at his home in Gudura village of Kashmir's Pulwama area. Remember, this is the price that these innocent civilians as well as security personnel are forced to pay for the Islamist hate that we have seen rising its head. Let me go across to Ishan Wani, who's joining us. Heart-wrenching to see the final rights of this martyred cop. Unfortunately, the policemen, security forces continue to be on the target of the terrorists.
Well, yes, now this is the second incident in a quick succession. First, it was in Srinagar's Alijan Road, where a policeman was shot from a very close range after he was on his bike and on his way to the duty where he is deployed at. He was stopped and fired in his, head. And now today, a constable, Riyaz Ahmed Thoker, who was on leave at his house, and police says that he was with his daughter when they came and opened fire at him. He was rushed to the hospital, from which he was lifted to the 92 base hospital run by the army, where a team of doctors was deployed to make sure that he survives those critical bullet injuries, but he unfortunately passed away at the hospital. Now police paid last tributes to him, but it again points out at a fact that the safety and security of not only minorities but also those policemen who live in these sensitive areas of Pulwama and Shopian. These are the areas where the number of militants are particularly high, where these incidents have unfolded. Behind me still these Kashmiri Pandit families are sitting demanding justice to Rahul, but demanding the Lieutenant Governor should come here on the ground zero and talk to these people and discuss with them that what their issues are, why they are forced to en masse resign. And that is something where now more voices are emerging. There are more people who are gathering here. But remember, the road leading to this place have been blocked by the police. Nobody is being allowed to go out of this place. Behind me there are barricades. In front of me there are barricades. When they tried to march towards the Srinagar Airport Road, they were stopped there, blocked because of the fact that police say that security around that area is something which they have to secure, and that is why there was shelling, tear gas shelling, and stun grenades which were lobbed at them. Some of them have been arrested. They are demanding that all those who have been detained should be released, which includes some females. I'll ask my VJ to show you that these are the visuals here. Since yesterday in the evening, when we reached here around 5, when this news came out, they have been sitting here. They have been protesting. There is a picture of Rahul which has been placed right here, and they are saying that they just have one demand. They'll address the Lieutenant Governor. He should come here and prioritize, because he is the head of the administration, and they want answers from him, because he has previously assured them that...
Well, in fact, do stay on with us. Do stay on with us. Major General GD Bakshi, a strategic analyst, is also joining us. General Saab, we've seen of late our braves on an offensive against terror. Crackdown after crackdown has happened. Are these targeted killings of those who are part of the security establishment a result of that? The way that the Islamists feel that their time is numbered?
Look, the simple fact is they don't have the firepower to try and, engineer a big exodus, big ethnic cleansing of the Pandit community as they had done in the 1990s. All they are capable of is sneak attacks on known, unprotected, undefended, unarmed targets, like the dastardly way in which they have attacked this poor Pandit boy who was just trying to serve his people, who was trying to serve the people of Kashmir through his office work. What crime had he done? But they are very worried that the Kashmiri Pandits will now be resettled, and they are trying to scare people away by killing isolated, undefended targets like the Pandits here and there, like the laborers working in the valley, those who have come from outside, non-resident labor, etc., and those patriotic Muslims who are standing up for India through the police forces, police services, etc. That's all that they are capable of. Sneak, isolated attacks, grenade attacks, pistol attacks on undefended targets. But they will pay a price. And my advice to the government, state government, my advice to the police forces is, You know these targets are very few. Use them as baits, use them as to ambush these people. So that once or twice or thrice that is done, they will stay well off these targets. As it is, their shelf life is totally counted in hours and days after they have done such a dastardly
Absolutely.
attack. And I'm sure they will be brought to justice.
But General Bakshi, when there are targeted killings like this of security forces, and I'm asking you this question because you've served there, your boys have served there, what does it do to the morale of the men who are there at the front lines of it, the security forces, the armed forces, the policemen?
Look, we understand fully that 100% hermetical target sealing is not possible. When the area is so large, when the population is so big, sneak attack here and there will succeed, will get away. I mean, that is just the mathematics of the ratio of surface area to police to paramilitary personnel to military personnel. Sneak attacks will get through. You cannot defend every target. But the method that I had followed when I was there was to not defend every target, because you can't. It is a physical impossibility. You never have that many troops. But attack those who are attacking the target. Kill them before they kill these innocents. You know, get them before they get anybody who is a bona fide Indian citizen. That is the way to go. We adopt an offensive strategy. And if you know they are coming for targets like this, use them. I'm sorry to use that word, as baits. You let the terrorists get to that target, and then you lay ambushes on the way to the anticipated target and kill those who are trying to kill our people.
Absolutely. So they are going to avenge the death of this young man who's been killed in the line of duty, another targeted killing by the terrorists. Thank you so much, General Bakshi, for joining us with your words. Let me go back across to Ishan Wani. Ishan, one after the other, several of the brave sons of Jammu and Kashmir unfortunately have become and fallen victim to the bullets of terrorists. What is the administration doing about it? Because you're speaking to Kashmiri Hindus, they feel that they haven't been safe. Even the security men are now being targeted.
Well, it's a fact that all of these local policemen have to go their homes at the end of the day. He was on leave, so most of them have to visit their localities, to their homes, because police cannot literally provide security to the already, people who secure other people. So it is very easy for the militants to carry out targets of such people once receiving information about their presence in certain areas. We have seen in the previous past also that the militants barge inside houses, fire at them and then kill them, and that seems to be precisely the case. But what is important here to mention is that whether or not the government is trying to formulate some sort of strategy, that is something which the government will need to answer.
Well, do stay on with us. Colonel Arison Singh, an author and a strategic analyst here on our show as well. Colonel Singh, repeatedly we've seen these kind of targeted killings of the security forces. Does it show that the terrorists are getting very jittery because of the crackdown we have seen in the valley and several successes by the armed forces?
Of course, that is one of the reasons. But there is also a grim reminder that the forces are still active.